them, you bring them in. As soon as we sign, you switch up and you're here for a job. But then you don't pay me.
What's at stake for a university if a player makes money off their own likeness?
The coaches are making millions coaching players whose families live below the poverty line.
40% of student athletes sign the Student Athletes Agreement with little to no understanding of the implications of what they are actually doing, which gives, for instance, lifetime control over the image of an athlete to the NCAA.
Many schools require the athlete to sign an agreement that grants the university the right to use their name, voice, photographs, or descriptors of an athlete. This strips them of the right to be compensated when used to advertise for the school.
They make $771 million from the NCAA basketball tournament, with some coaches having the salary around $3 million per year.
Some college coaches are making millions while these athletes are making nothing. College athletes don't have time to work a full-time job because they dedicate so much time to their sport. Some type of income from their sport would benefit all involved.
A college football athlete devotes 43.3 hours per week to their sport, 3.3 more hours than the average American work week.
NCAA currently produces nearly $11 billion in annual revenue from college sports, which is more than the estimated total league revenues of both the NBA and NHL.
In 40 of the 50 states, the highest public official is currently the head coach of a state university's football or men's basketball team.
Success in college sports is also believed to help the acceptance rates and caliber at certain universities.
I thought of myself in hindsight. I don't know, as an employee, I guess. I think of myself back then as someone who ultimately made money for the university.
Well, it was tough, and I found out right away that a full scholarship was going to be tough to get by on. You know, when you're a freshman on campus, you don't receive any money. You get the room, and then you get a meal card 3 times a day. But there's no extra money for additional meals or toothpaste, soap, deodorant. You know, the essentials.
Every student that we hire to do things on campus, we pay. I have a grader. She grades my exams for me. We pay her. We pay her enough so that she will not go work at Arby's. That is what you do. In a market economy, when people do things for you and they generate revenue for you, you pay them. Everybody does this. Everybody who is arguing the player should not be paid, have a job where they're being paid by somebody else. And if you told those people, we have a rule that says you cannot get paid, those are the rules, they would sue, because that is not a rule that would stand up in court. Or at least it should not stand up in court in this country.
Players would be able to afford a decent meal and possibly even send some money back home to support their families. Players may stay longer. This will increase graduation rates, allow fans to see their favorite players mature through college, and ensure coaches are preparing athletes for the next level.
Compensating athletes in college will limit the corruption involving agents, boosters, and others. Over the years, we have seen many scandals involving players receiving gifts and even accepting money. By paying them, it would eliminate a lot of these issues.
College athletes never anticipate getting injured, but in the case that they do, they often struggle to cover medical expenses and also have to worry about the scholarship being taken away if they are unable to play.
There was a player named Kyle Hendrick. He hurt his knee. He incurred a lot of expenses trying to get treated, and what happened? They rescinded his scholarship. He did not get to finish school, and his family was stuck with a bill, a 5-figure bill, $10,000 or $20,000 that they had to pay.
Ramogi Huma is a former UCLA football player. After witnessing the NCAA suspend a teammate for accepting a bag of groceries when he had no food, and after being informed that the NCAA prevented UCLA from paying medical expenses from injuries that occurred during summer workouts. In 2012, Huma and the NCPA successfully sponsored a student-athlete Bill of Rights in the state of California. The law requires colleges to pay for their athletes' sports-related medical expenses, prohibits from taking away scholarships away from athletes permanently injured in their sport, and requires them to extend scholarships up to 1 year for former players who have low graduation rates. A version of this bill was introduced in the Congress in November 2013.
The value of a college degree is viewed favorably by many Americans, especially as tuition costs continue to skyrocket. That causes students to carry out college loan debt well into adulthood.
Ultimately, athletes should be paid because they're working a full-time job like many. They put in over 40 hours a week and bring in a large sum of money that goes towards the school, yet they don't see any compensation in return. With the help of others, we can speak our voice to help change how student athletes live. Visit change.org and search college athletes should be paid. From here you can sign a petition to evoke a change, share with your friends and family, and spark the conversation. One simple signature or one small conversation could eventually change the dynamics of a student athlete's life forever.